Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Home, home on the range. And that's as far as I want to get into that song. I wanted to get to that line, home on the range. I'm Benjamin, and this is Numismatic Notes with Benjamin, and I'm showing you a note today with a couple of cows on there, and that's why I had to sing my little song. I grew up in the panhandle of Oklahoma, and range to me was scrubland, wheatland, and just whatever would grow naturally as far as the eye could see. We grew a lot of cattle and we grew a lot of wheat up there in the panhandle, and the cattle was not for dairy production, it was for meat. And when I see this note, I think of those docile herds of cattle that I grew up with. And I remember fondly the bottle calves that we raised on the farm. And I just have to say, if you've never had a cow look at you with those big eyes and lick your face, then I can't even say that you've lived. The note I'm sharing with you today is from Rwanda, and it is a 500 franc note. The Banknote book calls this a B137, and the Standard Catalog of World Paper Money calls this a PIC 38. I used the Krause catalog, the Banknote book, and Wikipedia to get a lot of this information from this note, and I'm very happy to share it with you. It measures 135 by 72 millimeters, and it is predominantly dark blue and gray. It's actually a very attractive note. I want to go over some of the counterfeit detection with you because there are some interesting counterfeit deterrents and some very basic ones. Over here on the left-hand side, in a vertical way, we have a fancy serial number that ascends in size. Tiny numbers, bigger numbers at the bottom, and then the same serial numbers up here in the upper right-hand corner as a single size letters and digits. Over here on this side, we do have a latent image over here. If you move this note from angles, you can see in these little silver designs here, the initials of the Bank of Rwanda pop up, BNR, I believe. What you can't see is a bunch of pearlescent designs that were printed and are invisible unless there is a blacklight effect. And I'm not sure that I can show you that. But if I don't try, we just won't know. Nope, you can't see it. Well, you kind of can. It's just a light pattern. It just can't be seen. But you do see that there are fibers that fluoresce, and in the case of this note, they fluoresce a blue color. Over here on the side, there is pattern print over what normally would be a blank window box. It's still, or a bank box for a watermark. It's still there. The watermark is of the logo of the bank, and there's some BNRs. You can even kind of see them. I think without, you can see the BNR there and ghostly writing in the BNR there, and the logo in the middle. You can see those without even the benefit of holding it up to the light. But right above this cow's head back here, you see an offset register that forms a 500 when you hold it up to the light. Part of the digits are on this side, the other part are on the back, and when you hold the note up, you see them both put together. What you can't see also is the heavy intaglio engraving on this cow. You can literally feel the ridges of the engraving with your finger. This one not so much, and then this third cow is one of the photo engraver processes that actually look like a real photograph is appearing on the banknote. Let's turn it over and let's see what kind of security things we can see on the back. Strangely enough, you can see the BNR here, and you see it backwards here, but you can see it reading BNR on both sides of the note. There's the offset register there. Over here over the students, we have a pretty fantastic security strip, and it looks like there's demetallized portions of the note, or of the strip, and the strip says 500 BNR, and yeah, it's like a 3-section security strip. So it's a pretty interesting note. Let's go over the design now, and we will move on with this very interesting note of a post-genocidal Rwanda. Rwanda is interested in moving beyond its horrific days of cruelty and murder, and they focused with some of their designs on the more bucolic aspects of life in a wealthy African nation, in this case, livestock and education. The face of this note shows 3 cows, and it represents the government effects to eradicate malnutrition. The back side of the note, as you saw a while ago, shows 4 students, and they are sitting at a desktop, and they appear to be wearing their school uniforms. They're very professional looking, and they are using exo computers, and this design represents education and technology. The computers used are actually specifically 1 laptop per child computers it was a popular initiative in the 2000s. And what it was a goal to have a $100 laptop. And while that hasn't happened, it's really provoked a lot of new things, such as the Chromebook, which can be had for less than $200. So, I mean, it was a noble goal, and it's made everybody's computers a little bit cheaper. But the cheapness of this computer has come at a steep price, because the system that they ended up creating and dispersing throughout the world had a lot of support software as well as logistical issues. The cultural applications were rarely considered when they created these computers for local populations. There was also a huge concern about how the computers would even be used. Deployed laptops often went unused because there was confusion between the students and the teachers, access to wireless. Maintenance was also a big issue with these computers. Nevertheless, in addition to Rwanda, Uruguay students, completely as a nation, had been issued 1 laptop per child. But a 2013 study has shown that there has been absolutely no noticeable educational improvement. Here in the United States, the biggest U.S. deployment was in the state of Alabama, and I don't have any more information than that. Nigeria actually is suing the 1 laptop per child organization over the keyboard design, and the laptops were not allowed in the country. That problem may have been resolved since I found research for this, but I don't know. India actually rejected the idea of 1 laptop per child, saying that the price point was too expensive and that they could do it for $10. Well, they haven't done it for $10 yet. That $10 in India has become $100, and I don't know that they've ever released one. I do know that they did eventually release a $35 tablet in 2010. I don't know if it was part of this initiative or not. But in Rwanda, computers are shared, and they remain at the school site because when they were first deployed, the kids would take their computers home and, of course, access things they shouldn't, but they would also sell them. And so to keep the computers from getting sold, they remain at the school after the school day. Nevertheless, collectors of the themes of cows, kids, computers, and specifically students in an educational setting will want this note for their collection. Please visit, subscribe, and share my YouTube channel, Numismatic Notes with Benjamin. I am Benjamin. Have a jewel of a day.